What's up, everybody? This is Jackhammer2711 coming at you with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Spinnerella. Now, Spinnerella was part of the 2014 Club Etheria subscription that was offered on MattelCollector.com. Of course, that was the mini subscription from last year, and she was the December figure. This was the $30 figure. I know a lot of people were expecting something a little bit different whenever we were told there was going to be a $30 figure, but it was done because of all the deco hits that are on her, and I think whenever you get her out of the packaging, you'll see exactly what they were talking about. But let's take a look at Spinnerella here inside of her packaging. Of course, you got here your Masters of the Universe Classics logo here at the top. A nice look at Spinnerella there inside of the packaging. Of course, you have the Princess of Power faction sticker right there. And then the Spinnerella Dizzying Defender figure down here at the bottom of the packaging. Of course, this is the green brick packaging that we've come to know and love, some of us, with the yellow background there on the back. Taking a look at the back of the packaging, you do have your Masters of the Universe Classics logo here at the top, and some other figures that were featured in the line, such as Jewel Star, Tall Star, Starla, then you have Spinnerella, the figure we have here in hand, Frosta, and of course She-Ra, the most powerful woman in the universe. Taking a look there at Spinnerella's bio, her real name's Cynthia. I don't have a problem with that. It's nice, it's simple, and actually it's how most of the names should be instead of all these dizzyingly ridiculous names we get sometimes from this line. But then you see Spinnerella, a nice image of the figure there, artwork of her. Then, of course, as always, MattelCollector.com, where collectors are king and collect them all. And then, of course, all that Lego mumbo jumbo that comes on the bottom of the packaging. Anyway, there's Spinnerella in the packaging. Let's go ahead and bust her out of her plastic prison and see just exactly what Spinnerella is working with. Alright, everybody, we've got Spinnerella here out of the packaging, and this is a really nice figure. Once again, I really don't have a huge connection to the Princess of Power action figure line. I do know this is one of the later action figures that was released in the original Princess of Power action figure assortment. And as such, her vintage figure is supposed to be one of the hardest to find, one of the most expensive. So really cool that Mattel gave us this character rather, so we can add her to our collections. Having said that, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't see where this figure needed to be $60. I mean $30. I mean, supposedly the reasoning behind it was because each and every one of these ribbons right here, each one of these is a deco hit. So that drove the price up to $30. Ratlore had a whole heck of a lot more going on than she did, and they gave us Ratlore for $25. So I don't know. Is this a nice figure? Yeah. Should it have been $30? I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. Taking a closer look at her, let's go ahead and take a look at her accessories first of all. First things first, we've got this staff that we've seen before, if I'm not mistaken, maybe with the goddess. But it's a really nice staff. Taking a look at the top of it there, it's got some nice sculpting detail in it, some nice line work, as you can kind of see there. Going up through the middle of these little leaves down at the bottom of the staff, entering up onto the head of the staff. It's really nice. It's really cool, painted in a nice kind of almost purplish pink color there, and then it down into like a metallic blue across the handle of the staff, really. And this is almost kind of like a metallic paint up there as well. So it's really, really nice. It's a nice accessory. It fits well into her hands. It matches up with the figure nicely. A little bit warped, as you can see there out of the packaging, but that's nothing that a blow dryer and some cold water won't fix. So a nice staff there. And of course, oh gosh, man, they are keeping the Etherian shield maker in business Once again, another shield from the Princess of Power line. It's pink. It's got some metallic pink highlights across the wings here, and this raised detail here. It's nice. Yeah, whatever. It's the same thing that we've seen all the time. It's got that pinkish purple jewel in the middle there, and we've seen it a billion times, so we're not going to spend any more time on it. Taking a look here at I will mention one thing about the shield in Spinnerella. As you can see, she does have these, I'll call them tassels, hanging off of her wrist there. And they come off straight of the bottom of her gauntlet. So you're not going to be able to take this shield and just snap it on to where it's on the side of her arm. You have to snap it on the top of the arm, which leaves it looking like this whenever it's in her arm. So that's just something of note. But anyway, let's take a closer look here at Spinnerella. Taking a closer look at her head sculpt. The face sculpt is very, very nice, very beautiful. Much as most of these ladies sculpted for the Princess of Power action figures and Masters of Universe Classics are, the Horsemen do a great job on the female head sculpt. She's got these nice blue eyes, really, really striking. She's got this huge crest of hair on top of her head, and it's this kind of almost muted purple. Really, really nice, elegant color. It's got these individually sculpted strands. Unfortunately, mine does have a little bit of blue slop right there on the hair, but it's not that big of a deal. I may even be able to get that off at a later time, but not a big deal. But really, really nicely sculpted. You look at this, and this hair's got a lot going on. It's got these designs through the back of it, you know, this big roll here, and then a roll there, then a roll there. This nice big long ponytail, which we'll talk a little bit about here in a second. After we finish taking a look at it. She's got this crown sort of thing here on the top of her hair. You can see there on the side it's got some nice sculpting detail along the edges of it right there. Looks really, really cool, and it's got this design here in pink across the top. Almost kind of looks like somebody cropped Mickey Mouse's ears and stuck them up there. But it's nice, and of course you see that sculpting detail once again on that side of it right there. Really, really nice, really beautiful figure. You know, moving down to her chest piece, she's got that Princess of Power. You know, there's this kind of a consistency across the line, this kind of design across the top here with these wings on either side, and then a couple of adornments here. She's got the ruffles across the top of the breast piece right there. She's got these purple spots on those wings that look really, really nice. Really, really nice figure. And then it comes down here to her belt. Her belt's got that same detail here as she had on the crown up here. Looks really, really nice. You can see all that sculpting detail, that line work here in the belt. It goes all the way around to the back of the figure there. You can see it there. Just very, very nice. The Horsemen do a great job there. And then, of course, it moves down to her skirt, which is done very, very nicely. It's that two-tone, that turquoise right here, the turquoise kind of blue, bright blue color, and then that muted purple again right there. It just looks fantastic. Really, really nicely done. You know, they're all individually separated down here at the bottom. They're joined at the top here, but they are separated here at the bottom for a really nice effect there. I think she had some kind of spinning mechanism in the original toy that made these kind of flare out, but you know, of course, no action feature here, but just a really, really nice representation of that original costume that she had. Taking a look at the boots underneath, she's got kind of those Princess of Power boots that a lot of them have, but in her color scheme of this purple and then the metallic purple accents across the top of the boot there, all the way around. Really, really nice. Really nicely done. Again, her gauntlets have some more of those tassels coming down the sides, but the sculpt work on that gauntlet is just fantastic. Maybe could have had some paint details across these two knobs right here, would have really made it pop, but it's still really nice. It's fantastic. It goes, you know, across the entirety of the gauntlet, across the top of it there, so you could have maybe had another paint detail here, but if we'd have done that, the figure probably would have been $40 instead of $30 if they put any more deco in it. At least that's what they're claiming. But yeah, so really nice. One of the things that you're going to have to take note of this figure, with these tassels hanging off of her bracers, if you pose her in any manner except like this, they're not going to look natural. If you have her posed with her hands by her side, from the front you're not going to see anything wrong, but whenever you turn her to the side, they are going to be sticking out back behind like that. And it's not that big of a deal, because like I said, if you're looking at her from the front right here, you can kind of see it, but you can't really tell. Only thing that's going to be bad there, it's going to take up a lot of room on your shelf. But you know, just posing her kind of, you know, with her hands at her side very elegantly, you know, kind of turned in towards her like this, or you know, and holding her staff maybe like, you know, in her hand like this, of course. You know, you just kind of imagine what that'll look like. She's holding her staff there to the side. It'll look really good. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Going over her articulation right quick, the head does move forward and back about that far forward. It's not going to stay because this is a big hair piece. It's very heavy. But she doesn't really, it looks like a bobblehead, but it's not really a bobblehead. It's just the head's so heavy, it's not going to stay in that far position. And it's not going to look that far back either. It does look back a little bit, but it is restricted again by the hair piece. But that's about what you get there. The hair will go all the way around, or rather the head will go all the way around. Her arms will go all the way around there at the shoulder. They do go up about that far, then back down to her side. She does have a bicep swivel, so they will go all the way around there at the bicep. She does have a single point elbow and a rotation at the wrist. In addition to that, the figure does have a waist twist. It will go all the way around there at the waist. This skirt piece looks like it would inhibit the articulation quite a bit, but it doesn't. Even despite the fact that there's really no slits in the sides, you can still get her legs out wide, very wide. So you're going to have no problems getting her on top of any of the steeds, horses, if you're feeling crazy, Battle Cat or Battle Lion. But it's not really inhibited that much. Same goes for, you know, getting her into a seated pose. You know, her legs really do go forward quite well. It's not inhibited, as well as there to the rear. You know, she really does have a good range of motion, even despite this skirt. She, of course, the leg, I'll bring it out to the side so you can see the rotation. The legs do rotate about like that. You can probably get it all the way around, but I'm not going to force it. She does have a single point knee. No boot cut articulation, but she does have ankles. Ankles move up and down. And a slight bit of ankle pivot, just a little bit. No pins on the ankles. I will say this, for having no pins on the ankles, they're good and tight. She's going to be able to remain standing, but they're much looser than any other of the non-pinned ankles that I've seen on any of the male or female figures. Not loose to where she's not going to stand, because I mean, even despite that, the biggest problem with getting her to stand is to balance her because of that huge headpiece she has on the top. But you know, you can get the figure to stand nicely, and as I say that, she's falling over. But you can't get her to stand up with no assistance. See, no hands. But anyway, let's take a look really quick at her coolest feature, I think. I'm not really sure what is what, if this is to match her Filmation and vintage toy look or what it is, but she's got an extra hairpiece right here. First thing you have to do, you take this bit right here, this ponytail I guess you'd call it, and you unplug it. It just tabs in. See if I can get some light shown in there. It just tabs into that hole with this peg right here. After you do that, you take this top headpiece of the crown, and it just kind of pops right off of there. And as you can see, then you take this ponytail, plug it back in there, and now you can display the figure like this. I don't know which one is which. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what matches to what look. I think it's supposed to match one, her vintage toy, and her looking maybe the animated series. I'm not entirely certain. But either way, the figure still looks great. I kind of prefer the piece on the top, and it just, you can see it just kind of pops on the top there. If I can get this thing to behave. Come on, get on there. Of course. I did this 3 or 4 times off camera whenever I was playing with it, and I'm gonna have to do it off camera again. But just kind of fiddly. You just kind of have to fit it over the, there's like a little ridge of hair on this hair piece that it just kind of fits over to get it to stay in place. And of course you just plug that ponytail back in the back. And there you have her. Spinnerella. Really nice figure. Really, really beautiful face sculpt, as the horsemen always do. I'm not going to put the shield on her just because I think it looks kind of silly with the way it sits on the top of her arm the way it does. But there you have her, guys. Spinnerella, looking very regal and beautiful. As always, comment, rate, subscribe. This has been my review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Spinnerella action figure. This has been Jackhammer 2711, and as always, everyone, I will catch you on the flip side.